Welcome to Dead Giveaway. I'm Billy.
And I'm Carley.
This is a two-part podcast. In episode 1, I will tell a true story, but change the names and locations to try and see if my true crime-obsessed wife can discover the truth.
In part 2, Billy reveals the answers and we will discuss the details of the case. Will I get it wrong, or will it be a dead giveaway?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I didn't know if we were looking for an honest answer
Are you?
or...
Well, be honest. How are you
I'm
actually
tired.
doing? We are both exhausted. We've been doing some gardening today.
Not gardening. We
Well-
gutted out the entire garden and are starting to redo it. So,
Yeah.
every muscle in my entire body, including my eyeballs, hurt.
Well, I hope you make it.
I don't know. We'll see. If you hear any like snoring, that's me.
She's just done. So if this episode's a little lackluster, that's why. But we're gonna do our best.
Yeah.
So welcome back. Appreciate you guys listening again, giving us your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Special on the top, or are we just jumping right in today?
What do you mean special?
Got anything to announce or?
No.
Okay.
No, should I?
No.
Do I have something?
I don't know.
Do you?
No.
Oh, okay. I hope not.
No.
Ooh, all right. Ooh,
Did you
good.
get scared?
Yeah, a little bit. Am I being replaced?
Yeah. Sorry, you're fired.
Dang, that sucks. Oh well. I give it a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get into this one. This is, again, a weird one. Saturday, October 19th, on the morning of, Dylan's friends received an identical email. The subject line just read Costa Rica. The email said, "Hey guys, I know this is going to sound totally insane, but I've met an extraordinary woman named Jen. Last night was honestly unreal. She's enchanting, one of those people who feels like they stepped out of a movie. She's charming, sweet, and she's offered to take me on this nice long tropical vacation to Costa Rica. We're leaving today. Before anyone panics, I'm safe, I'm happy. I just needed to do something spontaneous for once. I even sent in my resignation this morning. Please don't blow up my phone. I'll reach out when things settle down. If you don't hear from me until Christmas, that's going to be normal. D."
This was in October?
Yes.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, so very long trip. Her friends didn't just find it odd. They found it absolutely terrifying.
Right.
So Dylan wasn't the spontaneous type. She was a planner, the kind of person who hated tropical heat and wouldn't leave for a weekend without a checklist, let alone a country, right?
Yeah, with someone she just met for 2 months?
Sorry, let alone the country.
Right.
She was a responsible, career-driven professional in the IT industry. The idea that she would quit her job via email for a stranger she'd known for, a few weeks was a total impossibility. Again, Dylan worked in IT and had a bit of a quirky personality, none of which was in this email. She was the woman who texted when she arrived somewhere, the girl who gave updates nobody asked for, the girl who would have posted a photo of the airport coffee with a dumb caption.
We all know somebody like that.
Yeah, we do. I believe we're all related to somebody like that,
yes,
too.
that's true.
Yeah, so hey, tag them in this episode. Hashtag dumb caption girl.
Made me think of you.
Yeah, exactly. You should listen to this episode. You're in it. Oh, man. So by midday, the silence from Dylan's end was no longer quirky spontaneity. It was a blaring siren her friends could no longer ignore.
Yeah.
She wasn't a maybe I overslept person, maybe 15 minutes late. No, she was always 15 minutes early, coffee in hand. Her desk was organized. When she didn't show up for her shift, her boss didn't call her cell. He called her emergency contact, which is her sister Mara, because he knew something was wrong.
Oh, she's that dependable.
Yes.
Okay.
So her 4 friends were her tight circle who knew the cadence of her everyday life, gathered outside her apartment that afternoon. Her car was gone. Her phone was going straight to voicemail. Mm-hmm. They knocked again and again and again, pounding on the door. The only answer was the frantic, high-pitched yapping of her little dog, Princess, inside.
Oh, she left her dog? Please.
Anyone who knew Dylan knew her dog was her baby, and she wouldn't leave for a weekend without a 3-page care manual and a bag of premium food and treats for that dog.
I'm familiar. My mother writes those.
Yes. She certainly would not leave the dog without food or water for a spontaneous trip to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to wait for the police. Her ex is one of the close friends in the circle. His name is Tate. He broke the door down, and they all 4 went into the apartment.
Okay.
Inside, it looked normal except for just a few key things that stuck out to them. There was a few breakfast dishes just soaking in soapy water.
Which I'm sure she would not have left like
a
that.
half-drunk glass of water, some mail opened on the counter, and the biggest red flag was Princess's food and water bowls were empty.
Yeah.
Her laptop was also sitting on her desk, which they know if she was going somewhere, she would have taken with her.
Right.
When they checked the closet, they found her hard shell luggage was tucked in the back, which is the one that she always used for travel. And so the nightstand, they found her passport.
I was about to ask about that.
And they also found a grocery list dated for the 19th with things she needed. She was very meticulous. She always put down dates on everything. She even set reminders on her phone.
The 19th was on the grocery list. What date is this?
So this is the 19th.
Oh, so it's for that day. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The day that they broke into the apartment, she was planning on going to the store. So again, Dylan always wrote the date of when she needed to do things, and this meant she was not planning on going somewhere.
Okay.
The tension broke when Mara, Dylan's sister, burst through the ruined doorway. Her phone was already dialing 911 because she saw the broken door.
Yeah.
And she was furious when she saw all of them in the apartment. Mara told them she got a text last night. She said she was going away and asked me to check on the dog today. The friends told her about the passport, saying that she was not in Costa Rica.
Yeah, she couldn't have been.
No. So Mara scrolled back through her phone to find the previous message, and she said she sent me the address last night before she left for the date.
Oh, she went on a date?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is obviously a cautious person. She's sending her sister the address of the date she's going to. This is not somebody who's going to just up and leave the country.
Exactly.
And it would have been the person she supposedly met last night? No way. Yeah.
So the night of October 18th, this is the night before, Dylan is going on a date with a woman she'd been talking to for months, Jen Erso, whom she'd met on Plenty of Fish.
Are you sure it wasn't another planet?
Oh, Dylan said Jen, was intense and charming. But Jen had a very specific request. She didn't want to go to crowded place, a noisy bar, a noisy restaurant. She was a filmmaker and invited Dylan to come have dinner at her creative studio that she used for set bills and rehearsals, etc. So Dylan's sister, Mara, saw red flags immediately.
Yeah.
And she texted, a garage in an industrial park? That sounds super sketchy. What's the matter with you?
Right.
Dylan's response was just breezy, very teasing. She said, it's fine. She's an artist. It's just her studio.
Did we know if she had been talking to this person for a while? Or, because I know like on those sites, you can find somebody and you can have conversations back and forth before you ever actually meet them.
Yeah, she's been talking to her for months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so she probably feels like she knows somewhat.
Right. This
knows
has gone
who
on
she is.
for a while.
Okay.
So the last check-in was at 7 p.m. Dylan pings Mara one last time with the location that she's arrived.
Okay, so she actually sent her like GPS ping. Okay.
And she said, the vibe isn't what I expected. It's not scary. I'm actually fascinated.
Oh.
She said it's actually really cool. She has the whole place set up like a kill room for her next movie. There's plastic on the walls and everything.
Turn around and leave.
Everything is so immersive. And then after that, absolute silence.
Oh my gosh.
An hour later, Mara sends a follow-up and she says, a kill room? Creepy. I mean, is she cute at least? The message bubbles pop up, and then they disappear. And then at 11:45 p.m., a text comes in from Dylan's phone. The date is going really well. Absolutely amazing connection. Can you please watch Princess tomorrow? Mara, confused by the sudden change in plans, fires back, sure, but are you going back to her place? What's the plan? Let me know.
Right.
And then after that,
nothing.
The message shows red, and then Dylan never responded.
Okay, but I'm trying to think. Okay, so she did ask her to watch the dog and called the dog by name. So that probably was actually her.
Right.
Okay.
On Monday morning, the police didn't exactly treat Dylan's disappearance like a 5-alarm fire.
Right.
In their eyes, adults have a right to disappear.
Yeah.
People have midlife crises. People ghost their week. They ghost their work. They want to go live for a week in the sun, whatever. They treated it as
she
give
left
it some time.
willingly.
Right.
Yeah.
But Mara wouldn't let it go, and she didn't just bring her sister's passport. She brought the logbooks of a life interrupted. She showed them the empty dog bowl, the laundry still in the dryer, the grocery list for Saturday that Dylan was supposed to go pick up. And then she gave them the digital breadcrumbs, which is the Costa Rica emails that sounded like a robot trying to be kind of happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
The plenty of fish messages from Jen and the GPS pin Dylan had dropped before entering the garage.
Yeah.
Now, tying this in here, detectives hit a brick wall almost immediately when they started looking for Jen.
Right.
But they discovered that Jen didn't exist.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I can probably tell you who did it.
Well, just wait.
Okay.
Using the GPS pin, police narrow the search to a bleak industrial strip on the edge of town. The kind of place that's buzzing with forklifts and, hubbub during the day, but is dead silent at night. They found a witness, who was a night shift worker from a nearby warehouse across the street.
Okay.
And he remembered seeing Dylan's car pull up on the night of the 18th. He remembered her looking at her phone, taking a picture, standing out there for a little bit, and walking toward Unit 11. And then he said he saw a heavy metal door swing open. He saw a silhouette, just a shadow, somebody beckoning her inside. The door shut. And he said after that, he never saw anybody else come out. Detectives canvassed the surrounding blocks, nearby lots, and traffic cameras. Traffic cameras captured Dylan's car leaving the industrial park at 11:50 p.m. No clear footage showed who was behind the wheel. Police tracked it until it took a side road where security footage was no longer available and the vehicle was never recovered.
Interesting.
Someone knew what they were doing, obviously.
Yes.
Right?
They're covering their tracks very well.
Yeah. If you know that, there's no cameras down here.
Right. And you had to have studied that, made a very, very specific plan.
Detectives pulled the lease for Unit 11, expecting to find a Jen, Jennifer, Jenna, something, or so on there. Some kind of something that would lead them to who it was. Instead, they found a name that immediately made their blood run cold.
Uh-oh.
The lease wasn't in the name of a filmmaker, anybody related to Jen. It was actually in the name of Mara Knox, Dylan's own sister.
Oh, this just had a twist. There's a twist. Okay.
Detectives didn't just pull paperwork. They went straight to the office, and they pulled the manager aside of the industrial complex, who was a retired contractor who ran the place just as kind of a side hustle. And he said, yeah, I remember Unit 11 because they paid in cash.
Yeah.
And according to him, the individual who signed the lease claimed to be an assistant to a small film production company owner. She said that they needed a private space for set construction and creative builds. Obviously, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. They were just independent film, low budget, and they just needed flexible hours where they could come and go, and especially somewhere that would be quiet at night.
Yeah.
That explanation fit the industrial park perfectly, which is why it didn't raise any flags for him.
Yeah, that's a normal use for that type of space.
Right. When confronted, Mara insisted she had no knowledge of the unit whatsoever. She had never claimed to work for a film company, and investigators couldn't ignore the fact that her name was on the lease.
Yeah. Did the property manager recognize her? Did they show a picture or?
So the fake date claimed to be a filmmaker. The renter claimed to be an assistant to a filmmaker.
Right.
So the unit had been staged like a movie set based upon what the manager had seen when the doors were open, and it just made sense, right?
Well, and also she texted her sister that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
While investigators were waiting on a warrant for Unit 11, they kept the inner circle in a holding pattern. These weren't just acquaintances. These were the people Dylan saw every single day.
Yeah.
They lived within blocks of each other. Some of them, they shared Netflix passwords, and oftentimes she had them do pet sitting duties. But as the clock ticked, the police realized that closeness could also mean opportunity.
Yes.
Right. So the ex-Tate, Tate and Dylan had been broken up for about 6 months, but he never really, they never really stopped being around each other
because they just went from dating to back to friends.
Exactly.
Okay.
He was the one who led the charge into her apartment, and he's the one who kicked down the door. He was the quote-unquote hero of the search. He found the empty dog bowls, found the passport.
Yeah.
And he was very eager to present an alibi, and he handed over a printed out log of his gaming activity during the night of the 18th.
Why was he so prepared for that?
Exactly, before police even asked.
Yeah.
And it was he finding evidence, or was he kind of staging the discovery to look like a concerned ex?
Yeah, and also sometimes when people are guilty, they insert themselves into things so that they can be a part of it, know what's going on.
Well, so Lynn, her other friend, lived 3 blocks down, and she shared Dylan's obsession with horror cinema. She was the one who verified the Jenna story, providing screenshots of Dylan gushing about the day.
Okay.
This is really cool. You would love this set. They were obviously curated, and they immediately noted how cropped the messages were. Mm-hmm. Lynn was an amateur filmmaker obsessed with slasher screenplays, horror. Her search history showed she'd been looking up how to dispose of biological waste just days before Dylan vanished. And she told police it was research for a script, showed them the preliminary draft she was working on. That checked out. She had dates on the draft from months prior to this. And so in the police's mind, they're like, this is kind of a red flag, but there was also dates that corroborated her story.
Also, everybody in this friend group would know who her sister is, so they could use her sister's name, and they know the dog's name. So if that last text that came through to her sister could not have been from her if it was one of the friends.
So the last friend that was inside the apartment's name was Riley, and Riley was the group's IT expert, aside in conjunction with Dylan. Right. And they were coworkers. That's how they knew each other. Okay. Riley also lived not too far from Dylan. She, I believe, like a few miles away. And when the Costa Rica emails started arriving, Riley was the one who said, or she said, the IP address is bouncing all around. Somebody's using a VPN because this is going to Switzerland.
To hide the location.
It's going to Chicago.
Yeah.
And Riley seemed to be helping the police narrow down the quote-unquote digital ghost. Mm-hmm. And as a developer, Riley was the only one with the skills to mask an IP address, and investigators immediately started taking note of. Yeah. Especially Tate and Riley going...
Oh, almost overly willing to help. Yeah. Sounds like everybody's got a little suspicion, so never mind. I take back my statement.
So Mara wasn't part of Dylan's inner circle. She wasn't friends with these other people. Mm-hmm. Mara is a little bit older. She didn't go to the horror movie nights or share group chats about the dating stuff between all of these people. She was just the older sister, very practical, grounded, the one Dylan called whenever she needed, real world advice, or when she needed genuine help. She was too embarrassed to ask from her friends. Yeah. So when investigators informed her that Unit 11 had been leased in her name, she was obviously really upset, insisting she had never rented the space, she had never even been to that industrial strip, and financial records support that mostly.
Sure. I mean, she would have had to pay a deposit and things like that.
There were no direct payments from her bank accounts, no credit card transactions, no obvious wire transfers, no ATM withdrawals, none of that.
Oh, big cash withdrawals because the guy said she paid in cash.
But the lease had been opened using a scanned copy of her driver's license and a forged signature. Oh. The initial deposit had been paid in cash, just to remind everybody. Someone had used her identity to rent out that space.
Wow.
Or someone had access to her documents at the very least, right?
So this was a very well thought out plan.
That's when detectives dug deeper into the sisters' relationship. Obviously, on paper, it looked normal. In reality, just like every sibling relationship, is very complicated. They fought quite frequently. Text records showed years of tension, very sharp exchanges, emotional cutoffs, reconciliations. On multiple occasions, Dylan had texted friends saying that she was done with Mara and she just needed some distance. Again, reconciliation shortly after.
Do we know if there was like a common problem that caused them to fight all the time, or was it just random stuff?
Random stuff. Okay. I mean, it's just like typical sibling behavior, right? Like, you
Except
get
for
along.
us, we get along with our siblings perfectly all the time.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, just think about that. Like, it doesn't take necessarily, it's not one reoccurring issue. It's usually when, our siblings are being absolutely ridiculous and they need to get over it. But no, it's just typical sibling stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, family disputes aren't a crime. And,
I mean, it happens all the time.
Right. But motive doesn't always look dramatic. It sometimes looks like resentment. Sometimes looks like sibling rivalry. Yeah. You're exactly right. It could be years
of little stuff. Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like someone who knows you well enough to weaponize your life.
Right.
Mara had an alibi for the night of October 18th, and it checked out. But so did everyone else's.
Wait, what year is this? I'm sorry.
This is in 2024.
Oh, okay.
And in a case built on identity theft, staged personas, digital manipulation, the question wasn't just who had access, it was who had intimacy, who knew Dylan well enough to replicate, try to replicate her voice in an email and text messages, who knew her circle well enough to frame them, and who benefited most from suspicion landing close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 2 p.m., October 25th, 2024, the warrant finally came through. Detectives used a bolt cutter and they broke into Unit 11.
Oh, so they haven't been in there yet?
Yeah, they were waiting for the warrant to come in. Okay. And the metal clinking against the concrete and the dead silent industrial park just added to the
intensity.
Yeah.
Oh.
When they rolled up the door, the air that hit them didn't smell like a storage unit or a movie set. It smelled like bleach and iron.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The interior didn't look like a struggle had happened. It literally looked like a movie set.
Yeah.
Everything seemed controlled, deliberate, and it was terrifyingly real and cold.
Did it have the kill room set up?
Heavy-duty clear plastic sheeting was folded neatly in the corner. Some of it was hung up and tacked into the walls, creating kind of a curtain. Sturdy table sat dead center in the room, positioned directly under a high wattage light. A professional camera tripod was tucked in the corner, angled perfectly toward the table. And a single chair sat near the exit that looked directly at the set like somebody was just watching the performance happen. In the far corner of the unit, investigators found a small table, and on it was a laptop. Just in plain sight, it was just sitting on the table and it was half opened. And when forensics finally looked at the laptop, they found it was on a web page on Plenty of Fish. And they got into the profile and they didn't just find Jen. They found another woman named Sheena that was a mirror image. It was the same photos, the same enchanting bio, and the same predatory
So she
tone.
just copied it.
The killer wasn't just hiding. They were already fishing for a replacement at this point in the investigator's mind. When, they had the location and they decide that they're going to do luminol, right? And they find blood spatter everywhere.
Yeah, as they say, it lit up like a Christmas tree.
Heavy amount on the table, obviously. Splattered up on the curtains, the makeshift curtains on the backdrop walls. And DNA later confirmed that it was Dylan's.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So they had the Jen account, but something else deep in the laptop hard drive that they found hidden under several folders was a document titled SKConfessions. It wasn't
serial killer
script. It was a 40-page diary that began with the chilling words, "This is how this is the story of my progression into becoming a serial killer."
What?
Yeah, it didn't just outline like fantasy. It went on to detail every agonizing second of Dylan's final moments.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
Yeah, no other DNA was found at the scene other than Dylan's.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can clean up your own DNA, but blood is hard.
Even on the laptop, there was no DNA.
Really?
No.
But they left it there.
They did.
Weird. It's almost like they wanted them to find it.
Exactly. So when investigators showed the manager of the units a picture of Mara, he said, "No, that wasn't the girl who came in." When they showed him pictures of everybody else, including Dylan, asking if he had seen her around the complex, he said that looked like the woman who claimed to be the assistant.
What? Did she... Wait, what? I'm so confused.
So as the digital forensic teams dug into the Plenty of Fish account, they expected to find a phantom, right? Like some rando. Instead, they find a very familiar name who they have been talking to since day one. His name, his home address, and his billing info were all tied to the gym profile. It was Tate's name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when they traced the actual money, that's where the trail ended. While it had all of his information, the account wasn't paid for with any of his credit cards or anything associated with him. It was funded by a Google Play gift card.
That's crazy. It's literally like this person is just taking little bits and pieces from everybody that's in her circle. Ugh,
yeah.
Okay.
They traced it back to being bought at a CVS, and it was purchased with cash by an unidentified person.
No. CVS
Weeks went by of them. What?
CVS literally has a camera of poking you in the face when you check out.
Okay. Weeks went by of them analyzing surveillance and security footage from obviously the store that it was purchased at, nearby parking lots and stores, and in and around the industrial park as well. Investigators dived into Lynn's financial records, Riley's, Mara's, and they found no other trace of purchases that could be led to the gift card. Again, no ATM withdrawals that were suspicious, anything around them that could lead back to that. They looked at surveillance footage and found a hooded figure standing in line purchasing the gift card. And when they made the purchase, their face was obscured enough, like they knew where the camera was going to be looking, that they could not identify who it was. The suspect appeared in multiple cameras at multiple different places. The same one, same hoodie. They traced it back. They were the ones who purchased the gift card. However, they could never show their face, and they were always hunched in different positions to make it extremely difficult to tell height, build, or even gender.
Wow.
Yeah.
This person's really thinking things through. This is really creepy.
Very. So investigators then turned back to the Costa Rica email.
Yeah.
Right? The one that started the entire thing.
Right.
They tracked the IP address and through metadata, etc., and they discovered that it had been sent from Dylan's own laptop in her apartment. The one where friends had been searching for her trying to figure out what happened. Forensics swept the keys and they found a cocktail of DNA with mixed contributors. So there was no definitive.
Yeah.
Some of this DNA is very old.
Right.
Some of it's very new. And again, when they broke into the apartment, you've got the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, all the friends are there digging through stuff. Right.
You've got the tech one who's going, well, let me see, the IP address from this thing is like all over the place. Right. And all of that is very weird.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Sometimes there's one major option and a couple of minor. This is everybody looks guilty, including herself.
Right. Exactly.
Did they say how sometimes they'll be like, well, there's enough blood here that we can definitely say this person is dead. Did they say how much blood was there?
It went from a falsified Costa Rica trip to she is most definitely dead. Okay. And it's no longer a missing person. It is a murder. A homicide, and they're looking for a body.
Okay, so she didn't do it to herself. Well, I mean...
And, yeah. So, again, it's...
If she did, she would have had to have somebody help her.
Right. And it's here's this quote-unquote kill room.
Yeah.
We are surrounded by a circle of friends who all seem to kind of be suspect number one.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Tate had forced the apartment door and provided a detailed alibi. Lynn, the neighbor and horror enthusiast, admitted researching violent script material. Yeah. Riley was the tech expert who tried to trace the IP address, explained the VPN masking to detectives, was very helpful as well. Mara's identity had been used to secure the kill site.
And they had a history of...
And every path seemed to lead somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
None led cleanly to any of them.
To one person, yeah.
And there was no path that led cleanly to finding Dylan.
Jeez.
So whoever built the fake personas had studied Dylan's life absolutely carefully.
Yeah.
when you look at the messages between Dylan and Jen, Dylan shared a lot. Jen came at her with like a psyops of really breaking down walls. I am into the same things that you are.
Right.
You love horror. I love horror.
Yeah.
Let's get into the cinema stuff. And it really got her to share and overshare.
Yeah, because she thought she had a lot in common with this person. They're really hitting it off. They're getting to know each other.
She gave excruciating details about her life.
Boy.
Yeah, like when you hit it off with somebody.
Gave this person all the information they needed.
About her sister, about her ex. And the killer didn't just lure her; they engineered this so that they
to the very minor details.
Yeah. So the question's not just who killed Dylan; it's who understood her well enough to frame everyone around her and everyone she trusted, and who was confident enough to write a manifesto about becoming a serial killer and leave it behind.
Well, that's the thing, is if they think they're smart enough to be a serial killer, then this is almost like a taunt to people. Like, I'm gonna throw a trail of crumbs this way and this way and this way and this way and send the police in all different directions, and I'm just going to sit back and watch it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes you think it would have to be somebody close.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you thinking?
This is a tough one, but I think I'm going to go with the ex-boyfriend.
The ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You heard it. She's going with the ex-boyfriend.
All right.
So we're going to see if she's close on the next episode.
I'm so not doing good at any of these.
Well, I'm not making them easy.
No. And I this reminded me of a case I have heard of before, but
which one?
I can't remember his name, but they called him the Dexter Killer. Or I think they called him the Dexter Killer, but he was actually like just he wanted to be a serial killer and actually like lured people in through.
Oh geez. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay. All right.
So
we'll
make sure you tune in Thursday
Yes.
to hear the reveal and
Yes.
see if Carley got this one. And hey, hit up our socials. We're on Instagram, TikTok. We're on X. We are on YouTube. We're actually now on Instagram Threads. I guess that's a new thing.
Oh.
So yeah, we're on there. So hit us up. It's just Dead Giveaway Podcast on everything. Patreon is Dead Giveaway Podcast as well. And if you have any questions, suggestions, want to suggest a case that would be fun for us to do. Sorry, that would be good for us to do. If you have complaints, keep them to yourself. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just hit us up.
So we'll see you in a couple of days.
Bye.
Bye.